Hey guys, it's Nick the Booksmith. Welcome back. And today we're going to do another watch Nick craft obsessively. So what started this little project was I happened to see on Etsy some watercolorist artists that were making their artwork into like digital downloads, which is, you know, that's awesome. Printed out on paper, it's great for framing and stuff like that, but for digital downloads, then you can print it out on whatever you want, right? So I picked one artist's little set. It's a set of 3 foxes, and I love foxes. And so I picked one. It was only $5 for 3 of her hand-painted foxes that she scanned in and made ready for a digital download, right? And they're gorgeous. I'll put the link in the description box below. It's an artist in Russia, and yeah, real reasonable. But there's tons and tons and tons of artists that have all kinds of stuff. So what I did was, in Photoshop, I added a little bit more botanicals. So this was just kind of a mock-up. This was her image right here that she painted. This kit, the little set comes with, like I said, 3 foxes. One's laying down on a little curled up like a donut, which is adorable. And then there's this one, and there's another one like of a standing on all 4 feet, I think. And then she does have some little botanicals that come with it so that you can print it out with like little botanicals, kind of like this. But I wanted some more, and I already own some watercolor clip art that I've gotten from other artists. And so in Photoshop, I just kind of added some more to make like a little, I don't know, like a little laurel wreath around the bottom of this little fox. So I printed it out to see what it would look like on paper, but I wanted to print this out on fabric. So another link that I will put down in the description box is to the graphics fairy, and she had a little tutorial, it's been a while back, on how to iron freezer paper onto the back of your fabric and then run it through your printer. So that's basically what I did. And I got this. So cute, right? Cute. So then I trimmed off the little corners. I kind of rounded off the little corners. And this is just cheapo muslin material back in like the utility fabrics. I think it's like $2.50 a yard or something. And then I had ironed it onto the waxy side of the freezer paper, just like in that tutorial. So this is how it printed out on the muslin. And then what I did was I wanted to add some 3D kind of work to the top of the image. And so I made some little templates for cutouts for fabric, sorry. I printed it out to see how big they would be because I wanted to see how big my leaves were going to be. So what I did is this is just a piece of that exact same muslin, except I dyed it with some distress inks. I had some of this peeled paint distress stain, and then I did spritz it with some walnut ink, and I kind of came up with this kind of a watercolory looking color, you know, kind of modeled. And then I ironed it, and I put a little bit of spray starch on it just to give it some structure. And then you can fussy cut those out, but I put it through my Cricut. And I let the Cricut do it because now I'm lazy because I have a Cricut. I've only used it twice, so, but anyway, it's pretty material though. All right, let's see, what else did I do? So here are the little leaves that the Cricut cut out. And then what I did, I took a couple of panels of fabric. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. So this is a piece of that muslin. And then this is a piece of one of my favorite quilting cottons that they no longer, I can't find it anymore. But I like this color combination, this kind of tea dyed with the little floral over the top. So I zigzagged these two panels together, and they are 10.5 by 12.5 approximately. And I zigzagged around the edge. And because I wasn't sure, did I want to put Little Fox on the muslin side, or did I want to put Little Fox on the, you know, the floral side? But I know I hear all the screams because half of you are like, put it on this side, and then the other half of you are like, put it on the other side. So I kind of like the monotone look of this side, and I know half of you are screaming at me now, and I'm sorry, make your own. And so what I'm going to do though, before I sew this onto this panel, is with these leaves that I have made out of that fabric that I dyed, I'm going to make like some 3D kind of concepts on top. And so I'm going to be putting some leaves on here to kind of stick out. I'm going to glue them, and then I'm going to sew over them. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these little paper posies up here in her hair, in her hair, in her hair. I guess it's in her ears because she doesn't have hair. So, yeah, I guess that's what it is. So let me show you how to make these little paper posies real quick before we move on, and then you're, you know, then you're wondering how in the world I did those. Okay. Let me grab my pile of stuff I have here. Okay, the pile of stuff. So what I did, first of all, was I took some, this is just calligraphy paper. It is 60-pound calligraphy paper. Why did I pick this one? I don't know. I don't know. It's what I had. It's what I had, man. And then I spritzed it with some ink sprays. And the ones that I used were not in here. They're not in here. Hold on. Okay. So I got this one. It is made by Tattered Angels, and it's Simply Sheer. And it's their, what color is this? Plain Jane, I guess is what it's called. And so I spritzed full strength on this one, and then on this one I misted it down with water first, and then I spritzed this, and then I just kind of pounced a paper towel over the top to kind of make it a paler peachy color. And then I took some punches, some little circle punches. This one is a 1/2 inch, and I think this one is 3/8. This one is, I guess it is 3/8. Okay, not a liar, not a liar. And I punched out some circles, and I want 3 dark ones and 3 light ones for each posy. And you can make these posies in any kind of size you want, but I made kind of a larger size and a smaller size. So let me show you. So you take your little circles, just like these, and I'm going to use the bigger ones because I think it's easier to show you the bigger ones. So you take 3 dark circles and 3 pale circles, and of course you can do these all the same tone if you want to. It doesn't, the posy police aren't going to come and get you. And you want to choose a rounded ended handle of some sort. This is an old wooden spoon. And then this is the one I used for the little ones. But you want them to, the end of the handle to be closer in size. You don't want to use a really tiny one because it won't work right. So this is a piece of foam, like foam sheets that you can get at the craft store, just foam sheets. And you take your handle and you put one of your little circles here, and then you just start running little circles around the top of it like you were smushing it down. But what that does, because you use a rounded edge, is it makes a little cup. Do you see that? Kind of like a little contact lens. So you do that to all 6 of them, whether you are making the big posy or the little posy. And of course, I mean, all kinds of colors. You can just leave them white. There's all kinds of stuff you could do. You could spritz them after they're done. You could, you know, take some that paste wax, that metallic paste wax, and run that along the edges. I know, so many things, right? All the things, all the things. And it's important to start in the middle and then work your way out. And because if you don't go all the way out to the edge, it won't smooth the edges. The edges will be all wrinkly. So, and you don't want wrinkles. Then you'd have to get out your wrinkle cream. And ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so here is our, make sure I've got those all smooth. I was talking while I was making little contact lenses. Okay, so now you take one of the other circles, just of the same size, and I'm just going to pick this one, and I'm going to grab some glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit there because it's easier to do it this way. And I hold this little, let me zoom in so you can perhaps see what in the world is going on. Okay, we'll see if that works. Just hold this down. You take one of the dark or light, whatever you want to put on your bottom layer. I put dark on this one. You just dip the edge, dip the very edge into the glue, just the very edge, and then you stick it down on the edge of your circle. Just about like that. And then you put all, and then that's what happens. And then you put all 3 of them around the edge of the circle. Kind of evenly space all 3 of them around. Okay? You can use your handle to kind of make sure everybody's in the pool. Okay? And then you take your lighter circles and you do the same thing, except you stagger them over the seams of the dark ones. And a little closer to the middle. I will show this to you. So that's kind of what we look like at this point. And then, I think I ran out of glue. I take a little bit more glue and some tweezers, and I take a little shiny bead, a little tinky one. This is just a little glass bead. I wish I had some seed beads. I do not. And I just dip that in the glue and I put that in. So there is our little posy. And then you just move that aside and you make another one. So I need to make a couple more baby ones, the little dinky ones. And it's in the exact same way. I'm going to use a little bit smaller of a rounded edge, and this just happens to be on the end of a paintbrush. Okay, and there is our little teeny dinky one. All right, so that's basically how you make these guys. They're great for all kinds of applications, just FYI. And get kind of addicted in making them. Of course, the glue sticks to everything. So, okay, so that's how I did that. Easy peasy, right? All right, so what I'm going to do though, first, and I'm trying to decide, I wanted to sew in some vines. So let me do that really quickly because I think that'll be easier to do before I put it onto this. So let me stitch in some vines. Oh, let me back out. Holy cow, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Let me stitch in some vines and see what that looks like, and I'll be right back. So see my amateur stitching? Not very good at that. Okay. So, and then the next thing I think I want to do is go ahead and put some of the leaves on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tack them with some glue, and then I will stitch through them, I think. So how was everybody's day? This is going to take a second. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm doing okay. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning or something. I've got an appointment here in a little bit that I've got to leave for, but I wanted to get this done first, hopefully. And where does this go? This goes this way. Is everybody enjoying their summer? I am kind of. I love summer, but there's a few things I hate about summer. Excuse me. So summer is warm, which is good for me because of my Raynaud's or whatever it is that they are going to tell me I have. So yeah. So I love it that it's warm, right? But the warm brings on spiders, and Mama don't like spiders. I'm not a spider. I mean, I will literally pick up a snake, but you will not catch me like dead in the same room with a spider. So last night I'm going to bed, and I moved the pillow, the decorative pillow sham on the bed to move it to the end of the bed, and underneath that sits this ginormous, horrible spider. Just horrible. He's horrible. And so I called my husband, get this thing off the bed. And he comes in, and I give him a piece of I had toilet paper just in my hand, just like it miraculously appeared in my hand. Like, get it. And so I see him over there, and he goes, thunk. And I said, did you get it? And he turns it over, and nothing's there. I said, I think I'm moving into the guest room now. See you later. We never did find the spider. I'm going to have to live in the guest room forever because I hate spiders. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's just awful. So anybody else hate spiders as much as I do? Struggle is real. I'm putting some of these leaves, if you're wondering what I'm doing, putting some of these leaves at the ends of some of these little vines that I just sewed on here in a horrible fashion. So there we go. Oh, and you don't have to make like fabric leaves if you don't want to. They totally sell like like little silk leaves. They even sell them in like the scrapbook section, because there's like little areas where you can actually, buy flowers and not have to make them out of circles like that. So you don't have to make them. They have all this kind of stuff. I just didn't have it, and I'm one of those kind of people that I hate running to the store. I hate it. So if I can make something, I will attempt to do that instead of buying something. I am going to go and I'm going to put some stitches through some of these leaves, like little, like the veins in leaves. I'm going to see if that works. No, at this point my glue is gushing. It's like an oil gusher. I guess we could kind of we'll just do this. We'll just do that. It's done. All right, so let me go do that really quickly, and I'll be right back again. All right, so this is what the little stitching looks like through the leaves. I didn't do any down where the posies are going because you probably won't see it, so I just didn't bother. So I will rip this off here now. And look what I found when I was looking for off-white thread, which I need like a professional organizer. Of course, I'd probably waste their time by arguing with them the whole time they were here why this couldn't go there and it's impossible for that to go there. They don't know me. They don't know my life. So maybe it's not a good idea. But anyway, look what I found. I found this bag of beads that somebody had given me. Oh my gosh. Look, seed beads. I've had these for like, 10 years. So I do have seed beads. I'm a liar. Okay, so let's attempt to peel off the, this stuff. Let's attempt to do that. It would help, but I'm not going to do it because I don't feel like it. If I went and turned on the iron and ran the iron over it, it would probably warm up the wax, and the wax would just peel right off. Reeks of effort. So we'll just stand here and cuss and okay. As long as you can get one corner, I think you're good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think, because I can never leave well enough alone, right? I'm gonna take some paint, and I've got a foresty green, English ivy green it says, and I've got this like buttermilk color. Oh, it's Naples yellow, and I've got some cadmium. This is way too much paint, but you can only squirt out the littlest bit. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of dimension to my leaves. Alright, well, I think I've messed around with it enough. I just added some little highlights where I thought the sun might hit some of these more 3D kind of leaves, and I want the leaves to kind of curl up a little bit and stand out from the background, so you can mess with those, but we can do that when we're done too. So I'm going to go sew this to that main back panel, and this guy. Right, like that. I'm just going to do a little zigzag stitch around the edge in a similar color, because then I want to kind of rough up the, fray the edges a little bit. So, all right, I will be right back. All right, so I stitched around the edge, and now I'm going to try and fray some of these threads off. Just a few, just to make it look a little worn around the edges, just little, how about not worn, but not neat. Just don't want it to look neat and tidy. Just kind of pull on the corners, kind of make them ruffle out a little bit. All right, good enough. Okay, so now I have these pieces, and this is heavy chipboard is all it is, but it happened to be kind of a fabulous color. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to put a bead of glue along the bottom edge right here, and I'm going to take my whichever one it was I wanted on top. Here we go. And that's going to go right like that. Let me make sure it's semi-even from side to side here. And swing this around, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. And I just cut these strips a 1/2 inch wider than the piece of artwork is. I'm just going to kind of line it up with the zigzag stitch at the bottom and the top. Okay, because that's what your eye is going to be drawn to regardless. And turn it over, and then on this side I'm going to put another bead of glue, and then I'm going to sandwich this in with the other strip, so that gets sandwiched and just evened up just like that. I did sand the edges off on this so that it wasn't, after I cut it, it was kind of rough, so. And another bead of glue on the fabric, and then also on the chipboard itself. And we'll put this guy. Let me zoom out a little bit. So now I'm going to put my little posies on. So maybe one like there. So I'm going to put one up there on her little head, and then I'm going to put one or two or something down here at least. So put a big guy right there. And maybe we'll do like a little set of 3 down here, like so. Cute. Okay, so here is our little fox panel at the moment. Okay, and I have this little teeny tiny dragonfly I thought I'd put on as well. I'm gonna hide it in somewhere. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this thing and just kind of hide it. It'll be a little surprise for somebody who looks closely. Yeah, maybe about right there. Okay, little dragonfly. And then I have this quote that I love, 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 love. And it is, a fox is a wolf who sends flowers. And that's from Ruth Brown. And I thought I would put this down here on the bottom. Either centered or over to the side. Are you screaming at me? Because I can't hear you. Maybe in the middle. Maybe I should just do it in the middle. There we go. Love that quote. Okay. There is that. Now, I have some jute twine. So what I think I'm going to do, I had technical difficulties, so I'm just going to take my awl and just, this glue's not dry yet, and put some glue again down into this little section, and just feed the jute twine down in there, just right like that. Then I will just clamp that back together and let it dry. And do the same thing over here. There we go. So if you have forethought and you think about that, you know, before you glue everything together, like I apparently didn't, then you can have that all done in the before time. There we go. Just clamp that back together. It's gonna be all right, guys. It's gonna be all right. I do like these clamps better. All right. So as soon as we let that dry, we can hang it up. All right, and now we are all dry, and the little fox art wall panel is ready to hang up anywhere. It's super cute, and it's got all these little 3D elements that kind of hang out all over the edge. It's got some sewn elements. It's, I don't know, kind of super cute, right? There are all kinds of Etsy artists, watercolorists that have artwork that is already finished and ready to go, that you don't have to do any editing, any photoshopping, any of that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of artwork, but I will link the girl that I got the foxes from, and in case you wanted to know. And there's all kinds of little extra watercolor flora and fauna to make all kinds of things. So go check out the Graphic Fairy tutorial on printing on fabric, and get yourself some fabric out of your closet and you know, make yourself something cute to hang on the wall. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and doing one of my obsessive compulsive crafts, and I will see you guys really soon in the next video.